class. Today we're going to look at the structure of a mammalian kidney, and we're going to do that in real life. So what we have here is a sheep's kidney, and sheep and pigs, similar to humans, have this bean-shaped kidney with a smooth surface. Now the outermost layer of the kidney is called the renal capsule. Unfortunately, on this specimen it has been cut away already, but if you look closely over here, you can see the remnants of it. Okay, and the purpose of the renal capsule is just, it is a thin transparent membrane that coats the entire kidney and provides some form of protection. The next part we'll look at is the hilum, and that is this little indent in the kidney that we can see here. And the hilum is the point of the kidney where the ureter leaves the kidney, as well as blood vessels and nerve fibers. So the ureter will carry urine from the kidney down to the bladder, and there will be two main blood vessels that enter and exit the kidney here. The first will be the renal artery, which will carry oxygenated blood into the organ, and the second will be the renal vein, which will take deoxygenated blood away from the organ. So now we'll take a look at what's inside the kidney, and we will do that by cutting it open longitudinally. Now this specimen has already been cut open, but I will show you the procedure of how we would do so. We would start at the top of the kidney here with our scalpel. Remember to be very careful with the blade. And we will make an incision at the top and work our way all the way down through the kidney. And once we have it open, we can work away any excess to open up the kidney fully. So now we have our two halves of the kidney, and we can get an idea of the internal structure. So the first part that we'll look at is this outer dark layer here. Does anyone remember what that's called from our previous lesson?
Cortex.
Yes. Very well done, Russell. That is the cortex. So this is the outermost layer that lies just below the renal capsule. And the cortex contains what we call renal corpuscles. And the corpuscles are just sections of the nephron, which we also discussed in the previous lesson. So these are the top half of the nephron, and these protrude into the renal cortex. The second part we'll look at is the next layer in, and this is the medulla. So the medulla is made up of renal pyramids, which you can see here. They're kind of like little millipip shapes. So here's one over here, there's another one. So these pyramids make up the medulla. And within the medulla, we have the lower half of the nephrons that have entered in from the cortex. The next part we'll look at is the renal pelvis over here. And the renal pelvis is responsible for collecting all the urine from the kidney. So you can see these white protrusions here. These are little passageways that lead from the medulla into the renal pelvis, and they will carry all the urine that has been processed by the kidney into the renal pelvis, which will then pass it on to the ureter to be carried through to the bladder. So those are the main parts of our kidney, and now all that's left to do is make sure that we dispose of this safely and disinfect the area thoroughly.